Hi guys, how are you?
Yeah,
Hi.
welcome, Sharif. Go ahead.
I saw the title, so you wanted to ask why.
Yeah, I will give you guys and the audience, okay, whoever comes to the room, uh, two verses from the Quran, and we can discuss the historicity of that side, whether it is historically factual or wrong. So, Sharif,
Wait,
are you a Muslim?
yeah, but can I ask you? I mean, I added you, so what do you believe in?
I'm an ex-Muslim. I am an atheist.
Okay.
Yes.
So tell me.
Go ahead. Any questions? I'm ready.
You said you're gonna say two verses.
Yeah, okay. So let me give you, for example, the first verse from Surah Al-Ma'idah.
Mm.
Yeah, Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 20. It says, وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى لِقَوْمِهِ يَا قَوْمِ اذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ إِذْ جَعَلَ فِيكُمْ أَنْبِيَاءَ وَجَعَلَكُمْ مُلُوكًا وَآتَاكُمْ مَا لَمْ يُؤْتِ أَحَدًا مِنَ الْعَالَمِينَ. Can you tell me what's wrong with this?
There's nothing wrong with it.
Nothing wrong?
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong.
So
What do you
when
see?
so when Musa says here,
Mm.
إِذْ جَعَلَ فِيكُمْ أَنْبِيَاءَ وَجَعَلَكُمْ مُلُوكًا. Was there
Mm.
any kings at the time of Moses or after Moses among the Jewish people?
Okay, let me get it this way then. If you open the Old Testament, the Torah, and you start reading one by one before Moses came, not the Torah, the Torah before Moses came. It tells you about the beginning. So it starts with Adam and then goes to Abraham. And from Abraham, he has a son. And then he's promised another son. And in that case, he's telling him that out of your son, I will choose you among the nations. I will bring out of you king. For example, it says about his son Ishmael that it became 12 kings. And then also he tells him that I'm going to bring the prophet, he's going to give him the prophethood from him.
No. Moses here is addressing the Israelis,
Hmm.
Bani, Bani Israel, right?
Yeah, he's not addressing a human being here an instance. He's addressing a whole lineage. What's the problem? Like how the scriptures deal with a human being. It doesn't deal with a human being right now. It deals with the whole chain. That's what he's talking. I mean, the whole Quran is like that, by the way. Even talks about us, and you're
You
you're
are
acting as
avoiding,
if you're acting
bro.
as if he's talking to the slaves. You're saying he's talking to the slaves, and look, there is no kings in the slaves. That's very limiting, very limiting, and diminished view of
No.
the scriptures in general.
You are deflecting. You're
I'm not at
avoiding.
all. I'm exactly at the point. I'm exactly at this exact point that you're speaking about. I didn't deflect. I didn't go away. You need to answer what I told you. Did you even read the Old Testament?
Yeah,
Do you know the Old Testament?
I read the Old Testament in Hebrew. Can you
I
read
read
it
it
in
in Hebrew
Hebrew?
too. Yeah, I do. I read word by word in Hebrew.
Oh, okay, word
Let
by
me see your
word.
Hebrew. What is Mishkan in Hebrew? In the Old Testament, it speaks about half. The Old Testament talks about the Mishkan. What is it?
I don't remember.
You don't know. Do you read Hebrew really?
Yeah, I can read it. Like if I open,
Read the beginning.
okay, the Barashit. Okay, wait.
Uh-huh.
But you are changing the topic. I mean,
No, I'm not. I just want to
today,
see
today,
whom I'm talking with. Berashit bara Elohim et hashamayim veit haaretz. What does that mean?
yeah, when God wanted to started to create the heavens and the earth, I know that
Which
verse.
word is
Okay,
create?
Barashit. Okay,
That's not create. Which
bara,
words?
bara.
Okay,
Yeah,
so you
bara.
speak Arabic. So you talk Hebrew. Okay, what is Mishkan? Okay, I'm not going to ask you then. Then you read the Old Testament. So why are you claiming as if the Quran is referring to something else in that verse then?
Yeah, because Moses here is talking about kings. There were no kings
They
among the
were from the son.
Israelis.
No, from the sons of Abraham. If you're going to talk about
No,
Israelis,
no,
just
no.
listen. Listen. What is Israel? What is Israel? Who is Israel?
Israel is Jacob,
And who's Jacob?
son of Isaac.
Okay, and who's the brother of Isaac?
That's another branch,
That's
Ishmael.
Ishmael. Coming from who?
Yeah,
Who's the center? Who's the center? Who's the original? Abraham. Who is being promised that from his people will become kings and prophets? Who? Abraham.
Calm down.
I'm actually excited today, honestly. I didn't speak for a long time. Maybe that's why I'm feeling like lecturing, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry.
I mean, we are here to learn. I mean, I'm not trying to.
No, but I tell you why. My issue is I'm a little different. Okay, I know the stupidity in Islam. I know the things about Muslims. I know the stupidity in Christianity. Right? Each group have their own dogma and their way of thinking. Right? But I just honestly, for me, I studied like you did, Hebrew and Greek. To study the scriptures. I found guidance in the scriptures, okay? But what bothers me about atheists in general is I feel they didn't really get deep enough in the scriptures. I'm surprised that you do study Hebrew. But usually the atheists, they don't really bother. They just go to these verses like, not this verse, but different verses, and they hinge on it. And they stay for many years just making sure that their audience or people are validating their beliefs, and it just bothers me. Sometimes they really don't know what they're talking about, and in this case I feel the same way with that verse.
For me, it's I see the Quran is just another book. Like I see the Torah as a human-made. I see the Gospels and the New Testament as a human-made, and so on.
Did you test them?
The New Testament, I see it
Did
as.
you test them? Did you test these scriptures?
I don't understand. Can you explain?
Meaning, how do you know a scripture is from God or not from God?
Yeah, because they are full of mistakes, contradictions, and they're all like unknown. The authors are unknown.
Okay.
We don't know the authors really. I mean, the church, for example, tells us. Sheriff, can you mute yourself when you are not speaking?
Sorry.
It's okay. Thank you. So when the church tells us, for example, that Matthew has written the Gospel of Matthew, we don't know actually. They just claim it, but they don't show any evidence for that. Same with Mark, Luke, John, and the Old Testament is the same. We don't know the real identity of the authors, except that the Jewish establishment, they tell us this is the book titled such and such. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I agree with you. What you're saying is true. We have no evidence. That's true. And you can base your beliefs on that, or just shut it off altogether, or read them as is, as if they're telling us, yeah, this is true. But for me, okay, I'll tell you my individual path, and that's not what usually you will hear, I guess. And that's not coming from ego. This is what I found for myself. And that came from the Quran. And in this case, the promise of the Quran, and if you read the Quran, you will see that there's a promise in the Quran. And the promise of the Quran is, you realize, for example, the atheist will say, if God wanted to make everybody believe, why doesn't he just say it? Just show a sign in the sky. But if you read the Quran, you'll see that God doesn't do that in the Quran. He says no. Instead, what God says in the Quran, that these specific verses that you're holding in your hand, people are not going to understand it in general. Only a specific set of eyes will be able to recognize these verses to start. It gives you something called the criterion, the furqan. This furqan, this splits you, the reader. This idea of duality in the book, that's this criterion in the scripture. You find that criterion also in the gospel. For example, you'll see that he will say something like, let the one who have ears, let him hear. You can see there's a criterion, there's a split here. Some people will hear and some people are not going to be able to hear, right? So here in this case, if we study the Quran, they're claiming that this came from God, or Matthew came, whatever, the sole prophets, which we cannot prove yet. My only way of getting out of this mess for me is to hold these scriptures and study them, right? Like you did. For me, those scriptures claim, at least in the Quran's eyes, claim there will be three paths out of this scripture. One, I'm not going to prolong this, but one path is called, it's like the narrow gate that you find in the gospel. For example, it says in the gospel, Jesus claims and says, if it's actually Jesus, but I found that in the gospel on earth. It says, enter through the narrow gate. Do not enter through the wide gate. The wide gate leads to destruction. Only a few find the narrow gate. This idea is what I'm talking about in the Quran. The only way that you can find out if these scriptures are really coming from God or not is only if you find the narrow gate. And that's an individualistic path to start. Again, I cannot prove it to you, but the promise of the Quran claims that if you find what the meaning of these verses, they're not just going to be in a book. They're going to reflect out in the universe, meaning it promises that you will understand things in the universe. You will understand wisdom of what these things outside are. God will teach you things you have never imagined. You will understand the stars. You will understand the darkness and light and the contrast and the duality in this life. And then over this, he will show you signs in the clouds to start and in the universe for you to be sure that you're on what he calls the straight path. And if you don't find this before you die, then in what he calls the afterlife, you're going to be more deviated. How about this?
Well, so do you believe in these scriptures as divine books?
Oh yeah, because I tested them. You have to see it for yourself.
Okay,
You have
yeah,
to see
but
it for yourself.
wait. I mean, these are just claims. I mean, for example, what did the holy books tell us about the universe? Actually, nothing new. I mean, scientifically speaking, when the Gospels, for example, or the New Testament, okay, I don't remember, was it the Gospel or the epistles, when they talk about the stars falling on earth, I mean, who could believe that unless someone who is illiterate of astronomy? Because now we know that the earth is so small compared to stars. It's almost non-existent because the stars are millions and millions of times bigger than the earth. But these people are not talking about the actual universe. They're trying to deliver a message to control some people, okay, to make some money. It's all about making money. Like even the New Testament, where Jesus offered as a loving God, we would see that this God, as soon as the case was about money, God killed two people in the acts of the uh, uh, apostles, the, the book of Acts, chapter 5, you will see that God killed two people just because they lied about the money that they were giving the church. So, bro, I mean, religion is a man-made thing. So unless you see it this way, I mean, I can claim
I'll
whatever
tell
I
you.
want. Yeah,
No,
go.
I'll tell you, Sush. For me, I'll tell you for me, and I'm not shitting on what you're saying. I agree. I agree. Not to a point. I agree, but you bring from Acts and all, which I don't take as a scripture really. But for me, I'll tell you what I mean from these scriptures. Okay, aside from what you're saying, you said Bereshit. I read Bereshit. Bereshit, the first chapter of the Torah. Okay, it usually takes a Jew maybe what 10 minutes, maybe an hour. I don't know how long it took you to read it and go into Bereshit 2, you know.
It
But
took me
Bereshit
a
1,
year.
for
It
me,
took
it
me
took
a
me.
year to read the
No,
first.
not reading Hebrew. I'm not saying studying Hebrew. I'm saying just reading the first chapter of the creation. I don't know how long it took that, but it took me. The reading took 3 years for me to learn. Okay, but reading that chapter took about 3 weeks to 4 weeks. And the reason why I'm saying this is because you said the scriptures talk about universe and whatever, and they're diminishing it. But I want to ask you, and it's not just asking, I have the answer, but I want to see what did you get out of, for example, God says in the in the Old Testament, in the first page, he says, and God said, let there be light. What did you get out of that? Because that took a long time for me to grasp, for example. But what did you take out of that before, aside from you made the decision that these scriptures are not from God in general? I just want to show you a different way, a different modes of reading those scriptures. But I just want to ask you if you don't mind, and I'm not being annoying.
Yeah, I know that maybe you could interpret it as talking about the Big Bang, for example.
Oh, 1 second. Let me talk to. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to disrespect. But truth, high truth. It's been a long time. I was looking for you, bro.
Yeah, it's like bro, a long time, man.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
very
I
Yeah,
cut off.
welcome, Truth. Welcome.
Let me. Sushut, continue. No, I mean when he says, "Let there be light." Let's say if we're talking in an infinite universe, and we don't know that, but let's say infinite universe with darkness, and it naturally starts with this idea: "Let there be light." That light could be a speck of light, a tiny dot of light in an infinite world. It doesn't matter. Even if it's in a piece of paper, it doesn't matter because it's infinite, large or small. So let's say it's a speck of light, one tiny dot of light in that darkness. What do you think happened? What the Torah here is teaching you is what happened is something called the duality, the contrast, the difference. So when he made that speck of light in contrast to the darkness, came new concepts. These concepts like good and bad, cold and hot, first and last, right? This duality in life, this duality, I mean in darkness and light, brings color, because we can test color and we see that it's electromagnetic waves hitting specific material. It takes some and changes the amplitude and frequency of the electromagnetic wave, so you see color. Okay, so just to start, color is a mix of darkness and light, or white and dark, black, for example. If you read the Quran, you'll see a verse that says this: in the changes between night and dark, night and day, there are signs for people that can see, as you can see what the Quran is claiming. Now you ask the average Muslim, what does that mean? He has no idea. But you ask the one who got the knowledge of the Quran, and he knows. That's what the Quran is promising. This promise of the Quran that I'm talking about is pure wisdom from the scripture. Now, by knowing the contrast or the duality in this life, you start to see life differently. You start to understand wars, conflicts. It's part of this essence of the existence. Now, reading the scripture, you start to see the scripture and also contrast darkness and light. As God uses darkness and light in creation, He also uses it in the scriptures. That's why the Quran claims there are verses that are called mutashabihat and other muhkamat. It's natural. And the Quran claims that the ones that know, they know both. But the ones that are deviated, they're running after the mutashabihat, thinking they're onto something. And that's what I mean by I don't agree with atheism and taking conclusion on the verses and following, thinking that you're totally right about this. And then over this, like mocking or doing, that's the worst thing. So my approach to the scriptures are different, bro. Now, if you want to go into the stars and stuff, I tell you the last thing before prolonging this. About 2 months ago, the government released UFO information, right? The files, whatever. Can you believe
Yep.
those people, when they claimed they landed on the moon? Great. They lied to us for 50 years, bro. 50
No.
years.
No, not true. Not true.
Come on, man. You
Yeah,
want me
not true.
to say, oh, they're proof to us
Yeah,
the
wait,
universe, and
wait.
now
But
we're doubting these
Sharif,
scriptures?
Sharif,
Tell
Sharif.
me, man. Okay.
Yeah, wait. Can you? Yeah, thank you. So I like everyone to mute when somebody talks. So thank you. So the issue is okay. You took us away from the topic. Anyway, I don't think that these books are talking about the same thing. I mean, even inside the New Testament itself, for example, each gospel talks about a different thing. Jesus in Matthew is totally different from Jesus in John. Jesus in Mark is totally different from Luke.
Well, did you see Jesus and Thomas?
Pardon?
Did you see Jesus and Thomas?
The Gospel of Thomas, yeah, the same. It
Yeah.
has its own.
Did you see the version of Jesus and Thomas?
Yeah, I have. I read. It was a long time ago, but I have read that
Okay, I'm just adding to
gospel.
what you're saying, but continue, bro.
Yeah, that gospel, which is a Gnostic gospel, I know it, was discovered in Egypt.
Right. I'm just
Yeah,
saying, yeah, they are
yeah,
different. There might be difference. Yes, continue.
yeah. So my question is this: why the Quran has these mistakes? And I will again go to the verse, like in Surah Al-Imran. Okay, I don't. What number is Surah Al-Imran?
But didn't
Anyway,
I tell you? I just answered you. You didn't see. You didn't get what I'm saying. You didn't
well,
see what I
it
was saying.
wasn't convincing. Your answer didn't convince me.
Okay,
It's not
no problem.
convincing. Yeah. So it says in verse Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 20. وَإِذْ قَالَ مُوسَى, Musa says to his people, لِقَوْمِهِ, to his people. So he is addressing the Israelis here. يَا قَوْمِ, O my people, اذْكُرُوا نِعْمَةَ اللَّهِ عَلَيْكُمْ, remember the grace of God on you. And this I'm translating. I'm doing my own translation here, by the way. إِذْ جَعَلَ فِيكُمْ, he made among you أنبياء, prophets, وَجَعَلَكُمْ مُلُوكًا, and made you kings, وَآتَاكُمْ, and he gave you مَا لَمْ يُؤْتِ أَحَدًا مِنَ الْعَالَمِينَ, things that he didn't give anyone in the universe. So my point here is the Quran didn't know, the author of the Quran does not know that there were no kings among the Jews or the Israelis, to be more accurate. Okay, the Jews is a later terminology, but the Israelis had no kings until centuries after Moses. So that's a mistake.
It's not
Number
a
two,
mistake. Wait. Wait, before you go to number two, let's just clear this from my side. Since you were telling the audience what you think, and I told you, but they weren't here, let me just clarify this for again, so you see. Again, what I said before is, first of all, Israel here, the one who they're being, the one that are being talked to, it means Jacob. Israel means Jacob. Jacob is the father of Joseph. Joseph was taken to Egypt according to the scriptures. Joseph, in this case, was raised up high, almost like a king. But that's not here. Even before Joseph, again, I brought it back to the father of Jacob, that's Isaac. Isaac had a brother, that's Ismail. Their father is Abraham. In the Old Testament, you will see that this father here is promised, not him. He didn't see the blessing, not him. He's talking to him, and he's promising, out of you will come kings and prophets, and from Jacob will come the prophets, and came all this. So when God is talking in the scripture, he's talking to the human being. He's not talking to this instance of a human being. He's talking to the whole chain. The Quran does this all over the Quran, or you will see it as wrong. For example, he goes to Israel also in the Quran, and he says, and you were killing the prophets. But wait, we didn't kill no prophets. But it's talking to the chain. At the time of you go, and the time of Eliyahu in the Kings, the chapter of Kings, you see they killed 150 prophets. But it's talking to the chain. Continue, bro.
okay. I mean, that's a good outcome. I mean, you give me some new idea here. Even though I see it as he is talking not about the future, because when he says وَجَعَلَكُمْ, he made you. So he didn't say وَسَيَجْعَل, like if he was talking about the future, for example, he would say سوف يجعل أو سيجعل
What
منكم
about this?
ملوكا.
What about this? هو الذي جعلكم خلائف في الأرض. Is that only in the? Does he have to be? Does he have to say هو الذي سيجعلكم خلائف في الأرض? No, he says all over the Quran, bro. That's okay. So again, quickly, again, what I complained about the atheist in this, not you, but in general, is that they have no clue about the verses. I'm sorry, I'm not referring to you in this case. Somebody that knows truly, like a Qur'ani, for example, that knows the Quran, you tell him something like this, and he will laugh because he studied that word all over the Quran. It's like that chain idea. It's all over the Quran. So that's just my answer.
Yeah, but I have studied the Quran all my life. I mean, it's not something new. I mean, actually,
So
if
so as
you,
so as the sheikh that I used to study the memorize with, he's the head of the mosque, man, and he studied the Quran all his life. And the Azhar sheikh, he studied the Quran all his life. And ISIS guy that is killing, he studied the Quran all his life. What I'm trying to tell you is the Quran has 3 paths, like I told you. The Quran
Yeah, you
claims
know,
that.
bro,
Okay.
my problem is not with people like you. You are an open-minded person because you
No,
read.
because of the Quran. That's what I'm trying to tell. Because of the Quran. That's what I'm
No,
trying to
bro.
tell you. Yeah, okay.
What I'm saying that if had Muslims were studying Quran for themselves, okay, I would welcome that because that will give people an opportunity to understand it for and even create new ideas, new understanding. I mean, the problem is with the traditional interpretation. The tradition is it's like a jail. It's like a prison. People stuck there. They cannot think for themselves. That's my problem with the believers of the Quran. I don't have problem with people who think for themselves. So that's the difference. And okay, let me give you another example.
Oh,
And
but wait, I was looking. I'm sorry. Regarding
okay,
what you just said, I'm sorry. I want to give you something that is the Quran in this case claims that it has cure for the chest. And I find a cure in what you said here. And I'll tell you the cure, but I'm trying to find it. Just one second. It's a verse that is very clear about what you just said, and it's actually cures that idea. Um, I'll get it in a second. But just one second. وقال الرسول. I remember it being here. Okay, let me see after. No, that's not this one. One second. ما هم مقترفون. ما هم is that it? One second. I'm so sorry, bro, but it's really
okay.
ولتصغى إليه. What is that verse? ولتصغى with a sod. I got it. I got it. I
Okay,
got it. Okay. Look. Look at these, bro. One second. Verse 112, Surah Al-An'am 6. Surah Al-An'am 6, 100, what did I say? 120, 124, what did I say?
you said 112.
Yes, 112 and 113 has the cure for what you just said. What you said is that a traditionalist, he's just following his religion, following his sheikhs, his sheikh tell him go do this, he does that, he just doesn't know, right? And you don't like that, and I agree with you. This is not the correct way. Now let's read what the Quran says about this. But listen, the way we read the Quran is talking to us right now. It was talking to the humans in the past, but it's our turn. That's how you see the Quran. But try to read the verse, Kida, if you don't mind.
شفاء للصدور. That
No, this is not Shifa. The Quran is Shifa al-Sudur, but this verse that I'm talking it has cure, yes. It has Shifa, yes.
yeah, but which one is it? I don't remember right now.
112. 112. You want me? You didn't open it? Oh, because you were
Okay,
telling me to open.
yeah, can you read it in Arabic?
Okay, yeah.
Uh,
وَكَذَلِكَ. Okay,
okay.
look. I'll read the verse before it. 111. If you're an 11er. وَلَوْ أَنَّنَا نَزَّلْنَا إِلَيْهِمُ الْمَلَائِكَةَ وَكَلَّمَهُمُ الْمَوْتَى. And even if we bring to them angels or dead people talking to them, وَحَشَرْنَا عَلَيْهِمْ كُلِّ شَيْء, and we brought everything in front of them, مَا كَانُوا لِيُؤْمِنُوا. They're not going to believe. They wanted a sign. They're not going to believe. إِلَّا أَنْ يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. God has to permit there's a specific, and that's what I'm telling you about the narrow gate. ولكن أكثرهم يجهلون. Most people don't know this. Okay, let's continue the next verse. وكذلك.
Yeah,
خليني
الأنعام 111.
111.
112.
What chapter?
111. You
What
have it.
chapter? What chapter is this?
الأنعام number 6, chapter 6. The cattle. The cattle.
No,
111.
الأنعام no, the color. Oh
Not
yeah,
chapter. Surah 6.
yeah,
Surah 6. Surah
yeah,
6. I'm sorry. Now I'm using always the phone. I don't open the mushaf. I'm sorry. So then the word comes وكذلك. And when you read the Quran, when you see this word, it relates to the thing that was said before it. Okay. وكذلك. And just like that, look at this. جعلنا لكل نبي عدوا. For every prophet that came, every prophet, not just Prophet Muhammad in this, every prophet that came, we have made. God is the one who made. Look at that. We have made an enemy to that prophet. Shayateen, al-ins wal-jinn, both types. Ins and jinn in this case, humans and devils, whatever you call, whatever that is, okay? But both against that prophet, okay? يوحي بعضهم إلى بعض زخرف القول غرورا. They tell each other specific sayings. You can call this what you're complaining about, what the people are listening to. Just a bunch of sayings, not built on any proof or anything. Just a bunch of things, okay? It's called زخرف القول. It looks good. غرورة, okay? ولو شاء ربك. And if God wills, they wouldn't have done it. God allows it. فذروهم وما يفترون. Let them go on what they're claiming. And then look at this. Here's the cure. وَلِتَصْغَى إِلَيْهِ. Let the ones that listen to this wrong whatever قول that was said against the Prophet. وَلِتَصْغَى إِلَيْهِ أَفْئِدَةَ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ. Let the ones who don't believe in the afterlife listen to it.
I think you go far. I mean,
Ya Habibi, wait, what? I'm not.
where
This is
we
the
are
punchline.
going. I mean,
The
okay,
punchline.
no.
You want the
They
cure?
just like my Egyptian friend says,
Yeah.
ما تفسحنيش, please.
But
Please.
you don't want to listen. But why don't you just wait? Just wait. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's just wait. Didn't you say in the beginning this place is a place to learn?
Get to the point.
Okay, the punchline is coming. Okay. Let the ones who don't believe in the afterlife listen to that.
Hello.
And be happy with it. They're so satisfied with what they have. They pick whatever they
Yeah,
pick.
everything is fine.
Do
Thank
I
you for
choose
calling.
other than God as a judge? And He is the one. This is the verse. And He's the one.
Actually,
down to you
I have
a
some
book,
issue
one book,
about
that gets translated to you directly.
whichever
وَالَّذِينَ آتَيْنَاهُمُ الْكِتَابَ. And the ones who you
and
give
I
that
will
book,
email
that's
it
what
to
I'm
you.
talking about.
Yeah,
This way of
about it, and
understanding the book.
we can
They
work
know
on it
it's
later.
true. Anyway, that's the cure. What the cure is that what you're complaining about, people listening, all kind of groups in Christianity, Islam, and Judaism, everybody's taking oral traditions as way of living. They start killing each other. The Quran allows that. It's not against the Quran, but the Quran claims that if you approach the scripture, the single scripture, and let God show you this, He will give you a criterion and a path is called the straight path. That's it. Thank you.
MashaAllah, brother. I love you, man. Wallahi.
Thank you, Habibi.
Talk, go ahead.
You had a second point. I wanted to just, that was point one.
I'm sorry, I just missed your talking like 1 minute because I got a call. But anyway, I think we got far from what we were talking about. That this book is a human book. Yeah, for me, I don't see it as a divine book. It's just like the way I see the Bible or I see the Gospels. Yeah, I don't see them divine. So go ahead, Truth. Do you have a point to make here?
You know, brother, you were in the room the other day, right? Yesterday. And, you know, honestly, wallahi, tried to talk to you. And I think the only thing that honestly would, if you really, really, like, you know, want to know God or to believe in God, ask Allah, ask God, ask the Creator, ask the source to give you a sign, okay? Just to give you a sign. That's all.
Brother Truth. I mean, the problem is my friend who is a pastor, a Christian pastor. Can you mute, please? Yeah, my friend who is a pastor told me the exact very thing. Like he told me, just pray to Jesus, and He will show you the true path, the way to God, and He will show you His love. I don't see any. If I hear a voice in my head, I'm telling you, I will rush to a psychologist because I will know that something is wrong with me, certainly. But can you convince me that this book is not a human thing? Okay, just tell me, show me how is not human, how is divine?
Listen, brother. No matter what we say, you're gonna say this is your belief. You're gonna say this is your experience. You're gonna say this is your you know, your lie or whatever the case may be, right? My point to you is, and just like what that Christian pastor told you, he's right. Because the only way you'll start to believe in God again is to actually like get to a point where you're sincerely you know, asking the Creator for a clear sign. I've done this. I've done this. I asked to give me a sign in my 20s when I was an atheist. And wallahi, he gave me a clear sign. So much so that the people in my town were all talking about me because of this sign that Allah gave me that everybody knew was like almost impossible to happen, and it happened. And this is why I believe in the Creator. Now, I think you should just really, just sit down with yourself, right, and really come into terms.
Are you done? Your voice cut. Oh, he
I
got the
got a
phone
phone call.
call.
I got a phone call.
Yeah, yeah. Anyway, until he comes back, I would say that the Quran is okay. I usually make the following argument when I argue about religious books. Is that first?
Sorry, I had a phone call. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Go ahead. If you want to continue, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, listen, brother, listen, I don't think no one can convince you. We all tried to, and even Christians and whatnot. So I think the only thing left for you is to sincerely look into your heart and ask the Creator for a clear sign. That's it. And really ask for it. Be very sincere. And inshallah, hopefully, He'll give you a sign. That's all.
Yeah, but don't you see a fallacy in this? I mean, okay, the fallacy is the following. Because if I pray to God and I didn't get any answers, you will, the religious people, okay, I will not think about you, religious people will automatically tell me, well, you didn't pray seriously enough, okay? So I will keep doing it, and whenever there is nothing, you guys will tell me you were not serious enough.
Listen, don't worry about anybody. I don't know why you keep on worrying about other people, what they say and whatnot. Every human being is going to disappoint you. Your mother, your father, your kids, everyone. So stop looking at the people, okay, brother, and just ask the Creator to give you a clear-cut sign. That's it. I done it, and I had a clear-cut sign that He exists.
Brother, truth. I'm telling you, I was a Muslim, so I went the other way around. Like, if I were born to an atheist family, I would understand your point. Okay, you're trying to make, but I was born in a Muslim family to Muslim parents, and I became an atheist later in life. So. Okay, Honey Badger, do you have anything to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just trying to get a feel for. The Quran's wrong. Is there anyone in here that thinks otherwise? I mean, are you still on that subject?
Oh,
Or?
yes, we do. We think it's absolutely correct.
You think it's absolutely correct, the Quran?
Yeah. But with a different view. I mean, I don't know. You just came, but maybe you don't
Yeah, that's why I
understand
was
how
trying to
to.
figure out what's going on. I don't
But
know.
And
just to
Abai,
continue with
and
Sohel, if
honey,
you don't mind, I just want to tell him something for him. Sohel,
Go ahead.
let me tell you something. Listen. So you were Muslim and you became atheist. Whatever happened, what we're trying to say here, I believe, for me, is that from the Quran, directly from the Quran draws a specific picture multiple times. This picture, he puts specific humans. He doesn't tell us who, which, what's the religion, nothing. Just a human in a ship, in some boat, and he brings waves from every direction, and they realize they're gonna die. In this case, God says something, a specific word in the Quran being used. He says, فَدَعُوا اللَّهَ مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ. This idea of مُخْلِصِينَ لَهُ الدِّينَ, al-ikhlas, this idea of sincerity, true sincerity. In this case, if you look at that condition, I take it on myself and I say, if I'm on a plane and one of the motors is like burning, I have my kids, God forbid, I honestly, for my belief, I will pray God in my own tongue, Egyptian in this case, Egyptian Arabic. I'm not gonna say some prayers. I will directly speak to Him. This is, to me, okay, is a prayer. This is the reason why the Quran never says how to pray, because if He said how to pray,
Brother,
what?
according to the majority of Muslims,
Right. The
They
Quran
were,
says not to walk after them.
bro,
The Quran says don't follow the
wait,
majority. Watch out.
bro,
But why don't you just listen to the advice? Just listen for a second. I know. Just listen
can
for
you
a
wait
second.
for?
Getting
Okay.
kind of
Okay.
hype. This guy's getting pretty like
Yeah.
aggro.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was going to say that. Okay, I'm trying to remember what I was going to say. If this book was God's book, okay, why he would bring all this language of torture, burning, hell? I mean, a true God will not use terrorism, spiritual terrorism, to convince people. Like, imagine, is Albert Einstein smarter than God? I see Albert Einstein as much smarter than God, all gods, all the religious gods, because Albert Einstein always tries to give you an idea and to make you think. But this God, no. For example, when he says, وَقُلْ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّكُمْ, yeah, even the verse where in Surah Al-Kahf 29, which most Muslims use as evidence that Allah and the Qur'an is with free opinions and free faith. And in the end, he says, إِنَّا أَعْتَدْنَا لِلظَّالِمِينَ نَارًا. We made hell for the unjust. أحاط بهم سرادقها. I don't know how exactly to translate it. Anyway, it said like kind of like they're surrounded by it, and if they call for help, they will be helped with like a hot water that will burn their faces. كالمهر يشوي الوجوه. Anyway, I mean, what kind of God will play this game with you?
Well, and
So,
it makes no sense though, because it's implying that there's a nervous system when you're dead. So you feel pain when your when your soul leaves your body. Is that what Muslims believe?
No, do you sleep?
honey
Do you
badger,
fall asleep? I'm
let's
sorry, honey badger. You're honey badger, right? Do you fall asleep? When you fall asleep, do you go to different worlds? Are you using your physical body in this case that is feeling and
Yeah, I'm
walking? Are you
always
using
using.
your
Yeah, when I'm
legs?
asleep, I'm using my physical body. Yeah.
Wait, how?
honey,
You're walking. You're not
wait,
walking with
And
legs.
my brain's still operating,
guys,
and I'm having
Bro, if I
dreams, and
fall,
I'm breathing, and my heart's still pumping blood
bro.
through my system. What are you talking about, dude?
but you wait a minute. You could feel
Wait a
things
minute. What?
not directly on your physical body. Meaning it's all signals at the end. So, for example,
What are you talking about?
Honey
listen to
Badger,
me.
can you
Listen,
just
just
take it?
listen for a second.
Just
Is
can
this guy? This guy's just like not paying
no,
attention.
he
Wait,
is.
he's just
Can
angry.
you're
Honey,
yeah.
honey badger's
He's
angry.
just not that
Relax.
smart.
Honey, wait,
He
wait,
is. He
wait.
is.
Can
He's
you
angry.
relax, honey bun?
Yeah,
Can you
can you
So,
relax?
actually steel man my position instead
Okay,
of
okay.
straw manning
Okay,
me,
wait,
no,
Mr.
honey,
listen,
honey,
Muslim?
listen.
honey,
Okay, let me
honey
just
badger.
answer this. Let me answer this. Now, my voice reaching your ear, shaking some water in your ear, and then affecting some, no,
Yeah,
millions of hairs,
Sharif,
particles. Wait
yeah.
for a
please,
second. Stop.
please.
Can you please let me finish?
No,
What?
wait,
What?
no, don't finish. We don't want to go there, okay?
Okay, fine.
Because, yeah,
Sushi, that was for you, bro. That was for
yeah,
you, honestly.
I know. Yeah, I know.
You want me? You want to continue?
Yeah. So my point is, like, Honey Badger, you, my friend, took us to a different point. I'm not here to argue whether in the next life there is like a bodily experience or spiritual experience. That's entirely different issue. That's not my point. My problem is not just with the Quran. My problem is with the Christians, for example, who believe in hell. The same.
Oh, I
So,
understand your
yeah,
point.
yes. So my point is, if this is a true God, why he will use such a scary movie in order to convince people? Okay, so playing on fear is not a good sign of a good God. It's probably the opposite. I will
I
tell you,
agree.
maybe it's Satan. Maybe Satan has written this book. Who
Yeah, it
knows?
seems more like an evil, like a God that we all know that God at least wants some evil in His creation. We know that.
Okay, can I tell you my take on it, Sushu?
Yes, go ahead.
Is that I told you from the beginning of the scripture. Let's say I believe in those scriptures, in the Old Testament, for example. Again, the duality of life between darkness and light calls for good and bad, hot and cold, bliss and torture. The duality of life that you taste, even death and life, the opposites. These opposites are embedded in our essence. So torture is part of the essence. Okay, and you can prove it. It's in front of you. Kids are being burned. You feel disease. You feel all kind of pains, and you feel good both in this life. That's why again the Quran says in the changes between night and day there are signs for people that can see this duality of life. Okay.
No,
Now
no, no, no.
what?
Because
But I didn't finish.
according to the universe that I see, I think there are two gods, actually, not one, two.
No problem, no problem. But
Yeah,
still, I'm only
duality.
talking about. But I'm only talking about facts. Okay, we don't have to even
Yeah,
prove it.
facts, facts.
Okay, only
Okay, let's
facts. I'm
talk
Two
only
about
giving.
gods.
facts only.
Okay, so far, I see
Is it a
from as a.
fact that Allah created the universe?
Let me continue, please. As
I
so
just want
far,
to make sure that that's one of the facts.
Can you stop interrupting?
Hey,
yeah,
dude, I'm trying
this
to
way of talking.
understand you,
The
bro. You're
guy
so
is
fucking
talking. You're
angry,
I'm
bro.
trying to talk like a normal human
see,
being. What?
you're
What?
cursing. You're already just cursed. Keep on interrupting. You have no.
See,
So
you
Okay,
just
guys,
sound like a
don't,
simpleton when you say you have
guys,
no
just a
morals. Like,
waste
don't,
what
of
are
don't.
time.
you? What
Just
is
a
this shit?
10 seconds
Please,
waste of
guys,
time.
wait, wait,
15
wait.
seconds.
I will mute everyone. So I just want to tell you guys, when you make a point, try to not attack the person, okay? Attack the idea, okay? Please, guys. Like, don't tell
Sure.
him you are such a guy. Tell him your idea is wrong because one, two, three, yeah, and so on.
That's right. And I haven't had any of my ideas attacked. So,
Okay, good. So as a human, as you're another human being in this weird existence that we're in, what I found for myself with no attacking no one, I think it's a fact. You could prove, you can say it's not a fact and show me, is that this universe is made of this duality, this darkness and light, in essence, in every way and form. It's all over. Okay. So when you talk about a good, loving God comparing it that he should not use the darkness, I see like what, like okay, it's part of the essence in the creation. He's using the darkness to make the world as proof that the colors are made of both the duality to have this world. So in essence this world has to have that. Now why would a good loving God promise that he could put you in the dark completely, where complete total destruction at the end? What for
Allah.
me as a believer in these books, for me as waking up in this weird consciousness, what I found for myself is what we're in, is that at the end you either land on one of these opposites naturally, one of these opposites. The one opposite, if you choose to go to that, is deviation away from the creator, which is complete chaos.
Bro, you are okay. You've gone too far. Okay,
yeah, he just goes off, huh?
yeah. I mean, you digress. Okay, that's the problem. I don't want to
Okay,
digress.
okay,
Yeah,
okay.
bro, I don't want to digress. I want to stick with the point. So, a true God. Let's assume. I mean, I'm just for the sake of argument, I'm saying this. A true God, number one, will not need threats. He will not need to threaten me. Especially, he didn't give me enough power to know. Like my eyes, my hearing, my senses are limited, limited to this sensory universe, this materialistic universe. So I am in a box. So if imagine my father putting me in a box in a room and not letting me see anywhere outside, and later he comes and tell me, I will give you a test about the beauty of the park next door, okay? And if you give me any wrong answers, I will torture you to death. What kind of father would be that? Can you tell me? And by the way, Sharif, if you tell your true opinions to our friend Truth, he will tell you that you are not a Muslim. Okay,
Wait.
that's
Let's
my
stop it at the first
problem.
part. The first part, and I'll answer. I'll tell you my truth. I'll tell you truth
Go
from
ahead.
my heart about what you said. And that you said I'll make a box and put the child in it. How could I do that? How could I ever do that? Right? For me, I'll only say what I know so far, but if you have to have patience a little bit of what I'm gonna say. Okay. One is that first I believe in this Quran and the scriptures because I tested them. Meaning what? Through my life and through my path, I tested that, and I have my faith based on what I saw with my eyes and whatever. Okay, based on that, I take out information that really helped me. In this case, I'm going to take out some information that I'm going to base this on. Okay, and what, because I don't know what's going to happen. Okay, but what the Quran here told me in this case, for a believer, I'm talking from a believer standpoint, what happened originally. Okay, and he said what happened originally. One idea is that we were put here because of some conflict that happened. Not me, has nothing to do with me. I'm just saying what I found on earth, okay? This conflict that happened between what he called Satan, a rebeller or some kind, that tells God in this case that I will show you that this creature that you made is not gonna follow you, is not gonna do whatever the heck you want. Okay? That's what I know. One. Two, the Quran claims
Yeah, you
that
don't
God.
know it.
Yeah, I know. I keep
Wait,
saying
wait.
it. Just have some patience.
Just say you
And
believe it.
okay, I believe that. Okay, I said it already in the heading of what I was saying. But
Yeah, the second point. Yeah.
just open your ears a little bit, or just have patience. You don't have to be so aggressive. The
Well, I've been
second
very
part,
patient. You guys have been doing a lot of the talking, not me.
we were here before you. I mean, we were talking and talking.
Well, do you want people to come in the
You
room and
you
engage or
came in.
not?
No,
Are you
I'm
guys
not.
just
I
in
don't
here to
care. I really don't care.
like,
If
what are you
but
gonna do?
you
Get a room?
maybe you
Like,
should
get
go
like a
down
hotel
and
Honey,
just
room?
please,
listen.
honey,
You
let him
just keep
finish, please,
interrupting.
please.
Okay,
Go ahead.
so in this case, the Quran claims that he looks at Satan, the story, okay? He looks at Satan and says, whoever follows you, whoever actually does this, follows you, here's the path to the fire. That's what the Quran claims, okay? We come down here, have no idea what the heck happened to Adam, whatever. I have no idea. I just came to this existence, okay? Now, the Quran claims that he's given us something called the Nadir. This Nadir comes to knock your door and tells you what the heck is going on. What is going on? This is absolutely serious stuff we're in. This consciousness is a serious matter. And look around you. Look how life is. It's absolutely serious. The Quran here comes to wake you up from a state of you're playing games.
Bro, can you answer
Okay,
my
I'm gonna wrap it up.
example?
Okay, I'm
I
sorry. I'm
get,
gonna wrap it up.
bro, bro, bro. I
At
get.
this case, we're
Wait,
dealing with
wait,
with a God, not with a human. You cannot say
bro,
a father. Okay.
brother Sharif, please. I mean, just look at the example I gave you. The example I gave you that imagine my father putting me in a room forever and then testing me about the park next door. And if I got the answers wrong, he tells me I'm going to torture you forever. So is that a god or that looks
Just
like
sounds like
Satan
some
to me?
guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like some guy. Like,
So
I
first,
was. Excuse me, Sheriff. I was speaking. I know you're Muslim and you're entitled, but I'm an atheist, so I rule over all of you. Yeah, it just sounds like some guy. You know, I mean, these stories, like Sharif's all impressed with the story, and the only reason he's impressed is the same reason the Christians are impressed, is because when they were little kids, their grandparents believed this stuff, and so their parents were involved in it, and now they're like their parents and their grandparents.
okay. So again, how I see it is, what I'm dealing with first is, as my belief, is the God of the universe. What does that mean? It's not like if you compare us and our minds here, little brain, comparing it to the massive universe. So when you talk about how could he, how whatever, for me, it- he came here and knocked the door. This door says, "Listen to this." It splits the people. Some listened, he says.
How
Some
you
listened.
know, bro?
Hmm.
I will give you, for example, a premise. Just think
Hmm.
about it. A premise, and like I make this premise and this logical reasoning all the time. So I would give you the premise that all the books on earth are man-made, and we know that, like papers written by ink using a language that has sound and shape, and then you see the book on the ground. What would you say? Oh, this is a human-made thing. It's a book. The Qur'an is a book. That's premise number 2. Premise number 3, because Qur'an is a book, then it is a human-made. You see, it's simple. It's not that hard.
Yeah, it's not that deep at all. No.
No, not true. I'll tell you why.
Okay,
Because,
tell us why, Sharif.
thank
Yeah,
you.
show me
Thank you.
why
Okay.
not.
Okay, hold on a sec. Now, before the internet, before this critical mind I had, and before we can talk like this, I was a little kid. And I came out as a little kid. I found the Quran before I even know you or all these ideas. Okay.
Yeah, see, I
Now,
predicted that. Yeah.
yeah, you did. You did very good. You're very good. So in this case, this book that you say in human made affected my whole consciousness and my whole universe. I have no problem with that. I mean, I have a problem if it's a human made, one guy wrote it, fine. But for me to find out truthfully, for me, I will take that book and read it. When I took this book and read it, I found out for me, that the book promises something so odd and so weird to start. What is that promise? It says that the true path is individualistic, alone by yourself, and you will see it in your life. I said, no way. I kept reading. Let's continue. I kept reading. I realized, wait a minute, some conflicts are going on in my brain because of this book, same book, before I even know you or even know about Clubhouse. These conflicts showed now that what we are on is almost different, like to start, but then it became almost totally different from what this book is saying to start.
Bro, you're not giving evidence, okay? I mean, you digress again, but
Okay,
give me
let
like,
me a little bit
tell
more.
me
You don't like
evidence.
what's being
Yeah,
said?
yeah. Tell me
But I'm trying to
evidence
tell
number.
you, I'm gonna get
Bro,
the punchline. It's very hard to give you the
Sharif,
punchline without understanding
What do you think the
how I'm
question
thinking.
is, Sharif?
Sharif, like, tell me evidence
The
number
question
1,
was, listen.
number
The
2,
question
and
was,
so on.
the book is a human made, written by
That's
ink
right.
on paper, correct?
That's right. Yeah.
I said,
Yes.
fine,
Okay.
maybe, potentially.
So now what?
Just wait,
What now? You're
potentially,
giving your
maybe.
special interpretation, your personal journey?
What do you want me to do? What do you
Well,
want me
I
to
don't
do?
know. What are you trying to get to?
I am. Or does that bother you that I'm saying my personal
Well,
journey,
okay.
or
So
we
so
don't
you
want to talk?
concede that we're correct, that it's human made stuff, right?
Well, I'm trying to explain. You're not letting me.
No,
Truly, you're
wait.
not
You've
letting me.
already
I
done that.
swear.
I just want to
Seriously,
make
you're
sure
not
that
letting me. You
Wait,
just
guys,
want me to shut up
even.
and just listen to that
Yeah.
bullshit
See,
you got
you
to
wait.
don't
say.
want to. You don't want to have a real
Sharif, please.
conversation, bro.
No, you're bothering me now. You're bothering me. I'm a
You're
nice
just now
guy.
you're
You're really
whining.
bothering me
Now you're
because you're annoying
whining.
as hell.
Ali,
Annoying and
please,
scared. I think
please.
you have some
Sharif,
No, I'm not
scaredness.
Sharif,
scared. That's why I want
Yeah,
to
yeah.
talk.
Because when you react like this, that usually comes. You
Sharif,
go
Sharif.
through the
Isn't
dark
this
night of the
funny?
soul, or you didn't.
Don't
I
make
don't
it
think you did.
personal,
This is
please.
so funny to me.
Bro, don't
Yeah,
make
yeah.
it.
Funny, huh?
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
Sharif, please.
Mm. But
Don't
I was talking. He's the one
wait,
who cut
wait,
me
wait.
off, bro. We could have a nice conversation.
Wait, bro. Okay, just one moment, please. So, okay, so, I'm sorry. Okay, wait, something wrong with my app. Okay,
Yeah, because you muted me.
okay, sorry. Okay, guys, we don't want to make it personal. Okay, my friend Sharif, please give me your evidence. Tell me, like, I have evidence number 1, 2, and so on. Yeah, I don't want you to digress. So I gave you an example, and I just waited for you
Okay,
to answer. Yes.
okay. That without telling you what I mean. Okay, at the end, how do I say it in 2 sentences, fast sentences? You open the Quran to find out if what your parents are saying is true. First sentence. Second sentence, you read the Quran, it changes your whole consciousness to the point your whole family will expel you, but you will find the truth. 2 sentences. That's it.
Well, that was at the time because the parents were mushrikeen or polytheists, but today our parents are mostly Muslims. So the story is different. I don't see how your point works here. I mean, I have read the Arabic literature, for example, ancient Arabic literature, and I don't see the Quran except it's a kind of continuation, except it even has a qafiyah to it. like when you read any words, give me any words, you will see that it has a qafiyah, like والعصر إن الإنسان لفي خسر. You see, it's like sounds like poetry. So I don't see like where is the divine side of it.
Okay, I'll answer. Can I answer in 2 sentences also?
Yeah,
First
go ahead.
sentence. First sentence. You read the Quran and you realize that the Quran is promising 3 different paths through this life. First sentence. The second sentence, the first path is the path of the non-believers. They mock whatever, they do destroy the earth, whatever. The second path are people that do good deeds and just normal human beings. The third path is called the Sirat al-Mustaqim, where you know what are you doing in this existence. This is how you know that this book is godly or not. That's it. 2 sentences.
I told you.
All right, yeah, I have some stuff to
Go
share.
ahead, honey. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's just this like it's just so like what did Sharif ever like all we got to is that Sharif conceded that yes, it is in fact all man-made stuff. These books, the Quran is a book, therefore it's written by man. It's told to you that it's written by man because a man went in a cave and didn't even meet with God. He met with an angel, right? We don't even know if that angel was actually representing Allah's words. For all we know, Jibril was just talking out of his butt, making stuff up on the fly, right? He's an angel. He's a supernatural being. He already tricked Muhammad the first time they met. He made him run home to his wife. He's all, oh, it could have been a jinn. I was kind of scared in the cave. He was grabbing me and holding me tight. And she's all, go back, baby cakes. Go back. Try again. Maybe it's Allah. And he's all, okay. And then he runs back to the cave later. And then that's when he talks with Jibril. Jibril could have just been laughing and going, dude, this guy's a joke.
Okay, can I answer in 4 sentences this time?
Go ahead.
Number 1, sentence number 1. As a little boy, a little kid, growing in the family, whatever, they tell us, oh my God, watch out, the Quran is the book of God, so scary, whatever. First sentence. Second sentence, actually 5 sentences. Second sentence, the kid grows up and follows and a good kid and whatever. He starts to read the Quran. And then from this, he realizes, wait a minute, this book with Jibreel and whatever people are saying, look, actually, that's the second sentence. He just read the Quran. Third sentence, he realizes, what the heck? Look what people are saying. The Quran has problems. Look at these conflicts. How could it be? What is this hadith? What the hell? My life is flipped. Third sentence. Fourth sentence, the Quran starts guiding him in a specific way in his life that he've never seen before, to the point that all his consciousness changed and he goes through the scriptures and accepts the scriptures in a very weird way. And final sentence in this case, he realized, oh my God, this Quran is truly from God, and what is it promising is different from what the people are claiming, and it literally says so. End of story. That's how you know if this book is from God or not, from my point of view. It could be a bunch of stories, a bunch of whatever, like you claim, but you only can test it for yourself.
Bro, yeah, it didn't convince me, to be honest with you. I mean,
Can't convince you. The Quran says nobody can convince you. I swear, go read it. I swear, I can't convince you.
Yeah, like you see, like that's why, like, this book was, I mean, they didn't come alone. This book came with a sword attached to it. That's the problem. I mean, how many people have been killed because they didn't believe in that book? Okay, how Abu Sufyan became a Muslim, for example, and all the Qurayshis,
I
they
honestly
became
don't know.
Muslims by the
I don't
sword.
know. I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't
by
know.
the sword.
I
When
have no idea.
Sharif, when Muhammad entered Mecca.
Where do you get this information?
Oh, okay. So no, bro. I told you, I don't have
Right.
problem.
But I told you
Sharif,
I told you the way I think very clearly. Why are you bringing stuff and just hinging on it again?
Dear brother, your problem is not with me. Your problem is with the Muslims. They consider you a kafir.
I know.
Yeah. They call the Quranis Nukranis. Nukrani means they don't believe in Al-Bukhari and Muslim and
Exactly as the
this
Quran says.
tradition.
Exactly as the Quran says. That's the truth.
Yeah, okay. And I welcome that.
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah, exactly, for the one who
So,
sees, who
bro,
That
doesn't.
means that it's
for
from God. Did you know that?
so
I tell you again.
Sharif, Sharif,
Uh-huh.
I have many Qur'ani friends, and I always tell them, you don't have to debate me. You are welcome if you want to,
But
but
I'm not
I'm
debating
telling
you,
you, yeah,
Susho. I'm not debating
yeah,
you. I actually, you know, I actually want to. I'm giving you an advice, just an advice, like to learn. You said we learn from each. I learned a lot here. Honestly, honest to God, I'm not really debating you. I am just saying my own experience of truth from this Quran. What I'm saying is, yes, what you're saying is absolute. Sometimes I go sit with in the atheist room, bro. I swear, in the Arabic atheist room, and the reason why is because I want to hear some truth. For God's sake, I want to hear people that say truth. You know, that's the truth. But in my perspective, for me, is I give you the key point. That's the advice. When you read the Quran, attempt and try, see for yourself. If you read it as if it's talking directly to you here in 2026, you would
yeah.
realize
اقرأ
the difference.
القرآن كأنه أنزل
Yeah,
عليك,
that's a
right?
load of schmuck.
Right, right. The Quran says people will say that.
You're telling me it's speaking directly to me in 2026? That's what that book was written for?
Yes, that's
Okay.
exactly what I'm
So how
saying.
come most of the time I talk with you guys say the opposite?
Wait, it talks to all humans. Before it was talking to humans before us. Now it's our turn. That's what we mean.
Yeah, I'm sure that, like, look, you never know what a Christian's going to say next, right? And so dealing with the Islam thing is like just the last couple years for me, maybe 3 or 4, at the most. But it's all the same. You guys do all the same stuff.
Okay, but what I'm saying this way, when you go out of the Quran guides you in this case to the Old Testament. The Torah calls it that it has light, and also calls you for the gospel. When you go read the gospel with these eyes, you totally I believe you totally understand what Jesus is saying, and you start to even conflict with the Christians, and you bring
Well,
verses like how come, yeah.
I think your load is heavier than the Muslim because you believe in the Torah, you believe in the New Testament or the Gospels at least, right? You believe in the Gospels?
Yeah, because I tested them the same way. It's the
Okay,
way,
so
and the Gnostic. I believe in the
yeah,
Gospel of Thomas, for example.
so your load is heavier than the Muslims because if you read the Torah, there are so much there that it will blow your mind, like God ordering the murder of infants and even animals and
Right, that's the kings,
yes,
yeah. But that's not Torah.
no, bro, that's in the Torah. That's in the
Where?
Torah.
Where?
In the, okay, in the book of is it Numbers or
Wait, really
Deuteronomy?
quick, just to clarify, what are you guys? Can you just tell me what you guys are the point
Yeah,
of the
honey,
book?
I'm trying to tell him that the 5 books of Moses contain orders to wipe out entire cities
Oh, yeah.
or
Uh, Let me
murder
tell you something, Susho. I'll tell you
non-Jews.
something. I'll tell you the truth about that. But I give you a secret. Since you read Hebrew, the second half of the Torah speaks about something called the Mishkan. You know what I'm talking about? The tabernacle.
I don't know. Who cares?
Okay, Honey doesn't care, but Susho, you learn
This is
Hebrew.
super important.
Okay.
Right. Well, it's important for me, but for us here. But okay, for
Everything
some
that I've
people,
heard you say, you always preface and qualify with "for me." So you're just saying that these are like your personal beliefs. This isn't factual
I
stuff.
have
Like,
no other things I can base it on.
right,
What do you
right.
want
So
me to
you're willing to concede, like I am, that this isn't factual necessarily. It's just your personal beliefs, right?
It's just truth.
It's just your
How can I
Sharif,
say
opinion
Sharif,
no?
too,
wait,
right?
Like
bro,
if you tell me these things, why would I say
Sharif,
no? Maybe you're right,
Sharif.
but I'm just saying the way to test it for
Sharif, you're not
truth.
being intellectually sincere with me right now. You realize that, right?
What do you mean
Sharif,
by that?
Okay,
Now
look,
let
look.
me
I don't see
understand.
how you're missing this.
Tell me, Tab, please tell me.
I want to tell you something here. Is
But
that
Sushi, please, when I please, I just want to understand what's. I really have no problem with the honey badger, but I want to understand
Okay,
what's
so
the
then
problem.
look, ready? I'll show you. Ready?
Okay.
Hey, Sharif, my name is Honey Badger. Good to meet you. I'm an atheist. I don't think your God exists, but these are my personal opinions. These aren't, I'm not necessarily saying these are scientific facts or empirical that should be globally and universally accepted by people in Japan as well as India.
Uh huh.
Okay.
Uh
I'm
huh.
just saying that when it comes to God and magical books or divine literature, these are my opinions. Are you
Right.
willing to concede the same, Sharif?
Okay. The answer here for me, I will say,
Is no,
uh,
right?
Wait,
And
wait,
you
wait.
won't
Just
concede
wait.
that.
Wait, wait. The
Yeah.
answer for me, I'm gonna ask you, do you want to truly find out with me, or you wanna part ways?
Did you hear what I asked you?
I did, but you
Did you
said
hear
your
what I
personal
stated?
beliefs.
Did you hear how I told you my position?
But just wait. Just wait.
I am just
You're my
waiting.
friend in this case, or
Hurry
you're
up.
not my wait, just wait. Just you're my friend in this case, or you're not my friend. Let's say you're my friend. Okay, and you tell me your personal beliefs. No problem. I tell you, do you really want to find out together? You want to show me? You could say two things. You could say one, yeah, I want to show you. My only position that I can take is yes, show me. I can't say no, fuck you, you're it's all bullshit what you're I'm not saying that. I'm saying to own the truth to find out truly for me now is I'm gonna take what you're saying, but I'm also gonna take this book that we're talking, let's say this idea that we're talking about, you said bullshit. For me, I'm gonna truly find out if it's true or not, and I'm with what you said, not against what you're saying.
Please
Did I answer?
don't digress. No, you didn't answer. I mean, I will give you an example of what the believers do. Okay, if I tell you, okay, if you just look at the heavens and look at the clouds, they will paint for you God's message, which will tell you the truth. Okay, how can you prove me wrong? Okay, because clouds are changing shapes all the time. They never stop changing. The Quran is exactly like that. It's a text with layers of meanings and meanings and meanings, and sometimes contradictions. And that's why people just get stuck there. They misunderstand it and understand it, and they start hate each other over it, and like any other holy book.
Mhm. I agree. The Quran is just like that, and it says that it's like that, and it claims it's like that. It actually says it clearly. And I have a verse. I will share it with you, Susho. And the verse is, he says, هو الذي يريكم آياته. He's the one who shows you the signs. وَيُنَزِّل لَكُم مِّنَ السَّمَاءِ رِزْقًا, and he brings down from the sky whatever, the water for you. وَمَا يَتَذَكَّرُ إِلَّا مَنْ يُنِيبُ. The one who sees it is the one who does this thing, munib. This
Yeah,
idea in the Quran of
maybe
munib
like
in the Quran.
be humble to God.
No,
Yeah.
now what you do is you go to every instance of munib in the Quran to truly understand what it means. What it means for me, and what I found out, and I can prove it, is that when you put people in that position that I told you in the ship, he calls them that they're doing this inaba. This inaba is pure sincerity. You can find it in Matthew
I
6.
told you,
Close your door and
your
pray to your Father in
brother,
secret. That's what I mean.
dear brother, your problem is not with me. I'm telling you, the problem is Muslims who refuse
Yeah, I have
your,
no problem
your
with you.
yeah,
I told you, bro.
at
You have no.
least
I swear, the way I
at,
look at people,
at
it with love,
least
not with hate.
I'm sure, and show me if I'm wrong, and tell me if I'm wrong. At least you don't call for people to be killed if they don't believe, right? You don't believe in,
No, the
yeah,
Quran too says that. Not never.
okay, and that's
But if the
welcome.
Quran did say that, you'd do it, right?
The Quran doesn't say. I checked it. It doesn't say
If
that.
the Quran said that, you would follow the Quran, correct?
Yeah, if the Quran
Okay, so
says
you're
that,
just a
I'll follow the Quran.
sociopath, dude.
Oh, that's
Okay,
wrong.
thank
Yeah,
you.
because for me, even if God tells me, and I saw Him personally, and He tells me go and hurt people, I would say there's something wrong in me. I
I
mean, I'm
see.
seeing
Right, I'll tell you.
visions.
Okay. He asked me like some kind of trick. If the Quran says, I checked the Quran for myself. He says if, but in that case, yeah, I will do it because I tested it. But when I tested the Quran regarding that, regarding the killing and all this, the only thing that I find in the Quran is self-defense, absolute self-defense. God gives me the right. If somebody comes and attacks me,
But
wants to rape my
Sharif,
wife, He gives me
Hitler,
all the right to fight for
bro,
myself. Yeah.
Adolf Hitler also conquered
Say
Europe
again.
and Russia. Yeah, Adolf Hitler
Hmm.
conquered
Yeah.
Europe and Russia
Right.
based on self-defense theory.
I'll tell you. In Surah Al-Kahf, and I'll show you what I mean, exactly what I mean. In Surah Al-Kahf, there was two types of people. One that ran to the cave, and one that wanted to force them to believe like them, if you know very clearly. The people that ran to the cave, they ran to God. Those people, if they get together, for example, the idea of fighting, they're probably small numbers. The idea of fighting, if those other people want to force them into their faith, and
Wait,
you see
please
it now. You see what I mean?
don't digress, please. But even the story of the young lads who went to the cave, this is a Christian mythology. It was a story created to encourage believers in the time of strife. You know,
You know that for a fact, huh?
So how come God takes a story, a fiction, a fictitious story, and use it as a real story? Okay,
Right.
I mean, how that could be God?
Okay. Okay, but you see how that there's difference in the way my take compared to yours. You not, I'm not personal, but I'm saying because what you said, it's clear, like this story is a bunch of sayings from the past, we can find out. But same thing, like when they tell me Prophet Muhammad was sleeping with all his wives and with one shower. Okay, maybe, great, a story. Now, I cannot take this story as a foundation anyway to start. All I do is test it. When I tested that
You
Quran
didn't get
in
my
old,
point. You didn't get my point. What I was
it's
saying.
all about your point. It's all
No,
about your point.
what I said is that the story of the young lads,
Hmm.
it's a fiction.
Okay. Now, when you say
Fiction.
it's a fiction,
Yeah.
did you truly find out absolutely 100%? That's what I mean. Is maybe,
Yeah, it
yeah,
was
maybe it's a fiction.
written to encourage believers. That's all.
Maybe like the hadith, maybe great. I'm saying for me, when I was young, I found this book before the internet. This book has other features. One of these features is connecting this book to your actual universe. How about that? For a personal
Dude, it is.
test.
Hey, can I ask you a question really quick? Because you've been talking so much. This is what I would
But wait,
expect.
I want to ask you something, Honey
Well,
Badger.
I am. I'm going to
When you
ask you
say
something.
I'm talking too much, you make it feel like it's shameful. I can talk
Yeah,
too
No,
much.
please,
no, no.
honey,
Just
don't
you make
make
me
it
feel like
Trust
personal.
me.
so
Don't make it
like I
personal,
shouldn't talk.
please.
I made it into sentences for you,
Sharif,
for God's sake.
let him ask his question.
He doesn't have to say that though. Okay.
All right, I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't make
I'm
it personal.
sorry. I know you have the upper
Yes.
hand. I
Control
know you
yourself.
have the upper hand, Sharif.
Yes.
Yeah,
You
we
Control
all
yourself.
respect each other. Yeah.
you know
Control
the
yourself.
truth.
Yeah.
You
Maybe you
know,
lose your ego
I'm
one day.
just a weary atheist. I know.
That's good.
Right? Isn't that how you feel about it all?
Oh, now we're all happy. I'm happy now. Go ahead.
Yeah, like you get it. I understand I'm your subordinate.
Bro, let's just pass through this bullshit. Let's
Yeah, don't
go.
waste
Let's
our
go.
time,
Come on.
honey.
Come on.
Okay,
Come on.
good.
Let's
Okay,
go.
my
Go
question is
ahead.
this. My question is this, because here's my claim first. My claim first is that if there's divine literature written through an angel to a prophet man, because God chose it to be this way. This is his storyline that he's decided he wants to act out. He wants to have like some 50-year-old dude marry like a 12-year-old and all this stuff. That's cool. Those are cool stories, and you accept those as nice stories that you enjoy.
I don't.
You don't?
No, I don't. See, you don't know
No,
anything.
he
I don't.
doesn't believe. He doesn't
Oh, he
believe
doesn't
in
believe
No.
that Muhammad was a military leader?
No, you don't.
No,
You don't believe anything.
he believes only in the Quran. He doesn't believe in
Okay, was
hadith.
Muhammad a
Yeah,
military leader?
Maybe.
You don't know? I know, so
yeah.
you don't know.
He used to fight. He used to fight in wars. Yeah, he did for
No, I mean
self-defense. I agree.
he was a military leader. How do you not know that?
I mean, I honestly, I tell you the truth
Isn't that
quickly.
historical?
Okay, I'll tell you the truth. I'll tell you the truth in
Wait, you
in
don't
three
know the
sentences.
history of Muhammad?
Yeah, Honey Badger. I'll tell you in 3 sentences what I am. Okay, one, somebody like Dan Gibson. I don't know if you heard of him. Dan Gibson claims that
yeah,
the
Daniel.
Kaaba
Wait,
is not.
you're like somebody else? You're like some other guy? Okay.
Wait. Somebody like Dan Gibson says that the place was not in Mecca, for example.
Sharif,
Hmm.
please.
Hmm.
I think
The reason
we.
why I'm saying I doubt everything to start, okay, and I put it on the scale. That's what I meant. Not you take conclusions. I'm not taking. I said maybe. That's the reason why I said maybe. Continue.
Yeah. Look, I understand that it was a man uh, with a plan and maybe a canal, Panama. I don't know. Something like that. I always get it confused. And all I know is that the historical background of Muhammad indicates that he was a military leader that went into a cave where he thought that first he was encountering perhaps a jinn, and it frightened him. He was unsure. He was agnostic. He left the place hurriedly. He returned to his home, where one of his wives consoled him and convinced him to return later on.
No, back
Now,
then, bro, he was married to one at the time. Yeah,
I just want to make sure, is this not the
yes,
case historically?
Historically,
yeah.
No,
He
yes,
you're
first,
yes,
wrong because
yes.
you
he
said
first,
military. He wasn't a
He wasn't a military leader?
No, he wasn't military. At the beginning, he was not a military
He
leader.
wasn't a military leader. Let me look that up,
No.
Truth. Let's see if
Yeah.
that's the truth.
he wasn't.
Yes,
Yeah,
at
he
the
was.
beginning. At the beginning, he was not a military leader. You said he was a military leader who lived in a cave. That's so not true.
What?
Meaning he's saying he was a regular guy.
He became like a
He
military guy
became a
later.
military leader after he went in the cave?
Yeah.
Right, maybe.
Yes.
Oh, really? Let me see. Let me look that up.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're mixing our sources. There's different sources for this
Okay,
that
so
we
he was already, so he wasn't an accomplished military guy before he became a prophet of God who met with
Yeah. He
Gabriel.
was
He was an import exporter, so you don't know anything.
Okay,
a trade
fine.
guy.
Whatever
Yeah.
you guys like. He was many things. He was a businessman, right? Is that what you're saying?
Correct.
Yes, yes.
Okay, so he was like some awesome businessman that God chose, and
He
then
was honest business.
okay, he was an honest businessman. Wow, what a guy! So he was an honest businessman.
Everybody trusted him. Christians,
Everybody trusted him.
everybody.
Yeah, he was like the most trustworthy in all the land.
We love him. We love
Yeah,
him.
so you guys love
Correct.
him. Wow, this is awesome.
The people,
It
yeah,
is
the
awesome.
people
Thank
at
you.
that
He's a
time,
man of
even
the
the
people.
atheists.
Yeah,
Yup, even the atheists too.
even the atheists loved him. Did they have
Okay, what's
T-shirts?
the continue?
Yup.
Did they have
Love
did they
him.
have bumper
Continue.
stickers
It's over. We
or
love
like
him.
Oh,
hats?
they
Did they have
probably,
Muhammad
yeah,
hats?
probably. Maybe. You know, maybe they had it on the caravans. You don't ever know. You know,
You never know. They could have had like
prove there
little
wasn't. Prove there
insignias in
wasn't.
their
Wait, guys.
hats and
Prove
their
there wasn't. Prove there
Guys,
wasn't.
and their hoods and stuff. Whatever.
brothers, listen. I mean,
So look,
I
you guys are making a mockery out of your own beliefs. It's weird. I'm trying to get the straight story here, and you're the ones who took it into joke land. You notice that?
You didn't notice that at the beginning you were acting like a fool.
Yeah. At the beginning, I was asking you if you had any good
don't
evidence.
make it
Hey,
personal.
maybe you can answer this. Truth. Do you have any good evidence for Jabril actually speaking on behalf of Allah to begin with? What's the good evidence for that?
He was just saying nothing but the truth, brother.
How do you know?
Oh
How do you
yeah.
know?
Oh yeah,
We have
brother.
no evidence. We have no
Oh
evidence.
yeah, brother. Is he speaking truth?
We have no evidence. We have no
Freaking
evidence, honey.
joker, dude. You're a
Yeah,
joke.
Sharif is right.
Bro.
No
We
evidence.
You
have
got
no
to change
evidence,
your
bro. We
name.
have no evidence.
Here,
We
let
have
me
no
see.
evidence.
Truth.
Continue. So
Yeah,
what?
you should just change it. Just take out the truth part, dude. That's all you got to do. Your name will be accurate.
Okay, honey bun.
So what? We don't have evidence. What are we gonna do now, honey badgers? Show us the
So
way,
are you going to
please.
concede that this isn't factual? This is just your fun and
Maybe,
games that your
we
family likes?
want to know more though. We want to know more. We don't want to be
Sharif,
stuck here for the
bro.
next 3 years
Yes,
mocking people.
teach us,
How about that?
Sharif,
teach us.
Okay,
Show us
you
the
need
way
me to
back.
teach you some things? Okay, I'll teach you
brother,
some
I
things.
told you that
Here,
the
follow me
issue.
since you guys need a guide.
Yes, we're scared in this consciousness. What the
Hey,
heck we're gonna do
I
here?
guess so. I guess
Sharif,
that's what's going on. Yeah.
We don't want to be like animals. I feel like
Yeah,
we're more than
I know
animals.
you need some guidance. I'll lead you guys. Don't be scared. This is a
Go ahead.
safe place. This is
Yes.
well, shut the fuck up so I can give you a sermon, dude.
Oh, scared me.
Like
Okay,
you're
yeah,
not
shut up.
even
Yeah,
Oh,
shut
you're
up. Yeah,
not
shut
even
up.
like really interested in being taught.
okay.
Shut up now.
Dude, a student needs to like listen more than being heard. You understand that,
Okay,
right?
fine. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay, now
Okay,
listen to my
we'll shut the
guidance,
fuck up.
dude.
We'll
Look,
shut the fuck up. Okay.
look. I don't believe you're gonna. I don't believe you
please
will.
don't use the
Come
F
on,
word, please.
teacher.
Nah, I gotta take a lunch.
You have no idea, do you?
I gotta go
You're
to the
just lost,
cafeteria.
aren't you? Tell us
Oh,
where the heck we go.
I might, I
Honey,
might,
God.
honey,
I might resign from
please,
this school. It seems like
It's a
guys,
stupid school then. What the heck? We're lost. We're super scared.
guys, we are here to have a civilized discussion. Okay, I don't want to make it a personal argument or okay. We are trying to we are trying to be friendly. Okay, we have a friendly talk here. So, Sharif, if as you said, if you don't have evidence that this is from God, okay, it's okay. I mean, that's your faith. You can.
Right. But you know what's so
yeah. That's
funny?
why
You
it's
know what's
called
so
his faith.
funny?
It's fine.
It's so funny that Ani Badger just laughed at Sushu and me and then give him an X for some reason. And in the middle also, why do you
Well,
hate him
because
so
you're
much?
higher intellect. Truth is just not that smart, dude. So it's just
No,
dumb.
no, no.
It's
Are
just
you
dumb
kidding? Are
interface.
you kidding? You know what he went through, bro? Truth.
Well, yeah, I mean, I respect all of you. Okay, yeah, I consider you my friends. Okay, at least here on this chat room. We are trying to understand and know the ideas of each other, but by just making it a matter of joke and laughing at each other, we will not go anywhere. Okay.
Okay, but I still, can you still show us the way, please? I wanted to see how far will you take us. Where are
Yeah.
we going to take us?
Can I have
So,
like a minute? Couple
We let
minutes?
you, but you keep saying you're going to go on a break.
Look, you guys obviously don't want to hear truth, so I'll just remain silent until you're
That's
ready.
not true. But that's not true. We totally want to hear truth. That's what we're saying. Totally what we're
Sharif,
saying.
Honey Badger is right in the sense that he sees truth in his own senses, number one, in the physical world, number two, in scientific evidence, number three, because there are millions of claims, trillions of claims all around the world. So I'm with him in the fact that we cannot take your word for it. So just because you believe it, it does not mean anything to us, or to me at least.
Doesn't it? Really
Okay.
doesn't. It really doesn't. I didn't say. I never claimed that. I never claimed that.
Yeah.
I.
So when don't
You
blame
watched
him
The
when
Matrix? Did you
when,
watch the
when
movie The Matrix?
And here we go.
The Matrix. You watched when he said, "I can only show you the way. You're the
Yeah.
door. You have the
Okay.
one. You're the
Sharif, are you
one."
bro,
going to heaven?
this is
I hope so. I mean, heaven is
bro.
state.
This
See,
is
it's not even that useful to him. He doesn't even know if he's going to heaven or not.
What I mean? What do you mean heaven? Just to start, some people, some people live in this world. They're
like a
not
next
really looking for
Sharif, like a next
that
life.
goal. That, like, that's
Do you
the
believe in
perfect goal.
next life? Next life?
Yeah, I do. Yes.
Okay, I don't.
Yeah.
Okay.
And Sharif, are
Okay.
you going to heaven?
I hope so. I hope so.
So like even believing all this stuff and everything that you've been defending, you still don't even know if you're going to heaven? Okay.
Well, all I know, to be honest with you, I can only say truth. And this, when you tell me, do you believe you're going to heaven? I say, I hope so. I think
I'm
so.
going, so
Or maybe.
Yeah, me too.
Who
I
knows?
believe if there is a God, I'm sure he's
yeah, I have stronger
having
faith
a
than
place
Sharif.
for atheists.
I honestly, if
My
you read
faith
the
is
Quran,
stronger than the Muslims.
if you read the Quran, you realize that God, in this case, showing you a picture of a guy named Ibrahim, and this guy just uses his head big time, and he goes to his father and his people, says, "What the heck are we doing? Why are we bound down to stones? What
More
the heck?"
stories of men.
Okay, yeah, he says but let me
Sharif.
continue. Let me continue
Yeah,
with this.
so
Just
Yeah,
let me
he's
wait,
so
continue.
wait, wait.
like
I
Why
want to
not? Why not
fleshly. You're so
listen?
focused on the flesh and like
bro.
the world.
I want to interrupt you here because even this story, Muhammad took it from the Jewish folklore.
Fine,
The,
fine, yeah. From
yeah,
the Talmud,
yeah,
yes. So listen,
yeah.
listen. So this idea of the guy Ibrahim in that story that we found, the Quran, he says that that guy went to his father and told him all, like, what the heck are we doing? He was super. He wanted to know, and then when he went to the sky and he looks at God, looks at it and the moon and the sun and whatever, he says, "Oh, your God," you know. Anyway, but aside from then he comes back when he finds God. Then he asks God, show me that you are truth." And he says, "Didn't you believe?" He says, "Yeah, but I want my heart to be." And then in the Quran, all over the Quran, it tells the reader, the seeker.
Yeah, what are you
Well,
getting to?
here we go. I'm
Bro,
going to say it right now. It's not right now. I'm going to say it
the
right now. I'm
whole
going to say
story.
it right now. Right now, I'm going to say it. He says to follow this guy, Ibrahim. Go ahead, follow that model that I gave you. That model is a thinking model. So I said all this because you said the atheist is close. Yeah, maybe because they're using their head. Thank you.
The whole story doesn't make sense. So either, as you said, he was trying to give a lesson to them, okay, by but if we imagine or we follow the Jewish folklore, it says that Abraham was born in a cave, and then when he got out, he saw the stars, and so on. The story goes in the way until he ends up believing in God. The whole story, it doesn't make sense.
Mm. I told you the cure, Soshio. I told you the cure from the Quran. You can go back. 112, right? What was it? 112:6. He allows that to happen. He allows these stories to
Bro,
be.
I can give you any book and I tell you,
Exactly. All the books.
yeah,
Look, it's
yeah.
just. I give you a verse. I give you not
So,
verse, an idea from the
no,
Quran.
so
Look.
can
I tell you the idea. Maybe you can understand it if you understand some
Sharif,
mysticism.
I want to hear from Truth because he is a Muslim. He believes in Al-Quran and Al-Bukhari and Muslim. So what do you think, Truth? What do you say? He's not around. Okay, honey, tell me what's your experience with religion? Tell me.
Mostly just like because I live in like a Christian nationalist, fascist run uh, Zionist country right now. It's called the United States of Israel. I grew up in like the Christian environment because I grew up in like kind of a middle to upper middle, ritzy class fringe environment as a child in Southern California, United States of America. So, a lot of Christianity stuff around me, Christian churches. I went to Awana, I went to VBS here and there. I was even in CCD for Catholicism, but I never got confirmed because I thought it was just a joke. So I was pretty much done being a Christian, if I was even ever a Christian, really, at about 14, 15. And then I didn't really think about it too much for years. And then I started realizing how religion is a very powerful tool in socioeconomic politics and psychology and sociology. So I started paying attention again decades later, and here we are.
Exactly. It's a way to manipulate and control people. I mean, because imagine if all people or the majority were atheists, well, they will start thinking for themselves because they will have some rules of evidence, like the scientific methodology, for example. This is a way to understand reality and understand what is real, because religions come with so many claims, and they are 99% false. For example, when Quran talks about the Jews, it says وَقَالَتِ الْيَهُودُ, the Jews said, and then we find that none of the Jews was believing that thing. And if, for the sake of argument, there were a few Jews who believed that thing, so how come this book says, and the Jews said? Okay, couldn't he say, some Jews said, at least, to be accurate? But they don't care. The authors of these books, they don't care. They just sell you any bullshit, and you just have to believe it. You don't have, they don't have time for or place for debate or disagreement. No, go ahead, Sharif.
Why no? Why do I have to go ahead now? Okay. You said وقالت اليهود what? I was trying to put the iPod. Tell me again. وقالت اليهود what?
Yeah, وقالت اليهود العزير ابن الله, for example.
Oh yeah,
That
yeah,
Al-Azar, Al-Uzair was the son of
mm,
God.
yeah.
Can you tell me what group of Jews said that?
When I read about it, I some Muslims apologetically said there was some group or whatever. But honestly, my take on things like this is to hold, and the reason why is there's things in the Quran and the Gospel and the Old Testament that I saw in the beginning, and I was like, "What the heck?" You know what I mean? But then, as I learned mysticism, I learned. I'm trying to learn the Zohar now, but in general, when I learned mysticism, is that these verses are might be talking about spiritual aspects also. So my mind changed about things that I thought. The difference is some people, they just decide to reach a conclusion quickly. Oh, this is all bullshit. And the worst thing for me is to branch into mocking next. Like that's what the Quran claims. That's the sign of a heart, of that seal on a heart. So
I'm just mocking the unscientific language.
No, no, I don't mean scientific. I mean now it's a point of just mocking. I'm just mocking in this case. Just imagine people going in Clubhouse for the next 10 years just to mock other believers, for example. That's all they got. Unfortunately, they missed the scriptures altogether.
Yeah, but You know, I can't talk about religion because I myself, I was a religious person. So when I talk about religious experience, I know what I'm talking about. And that's the difference. I mean, I don't know. Truth says that he was an atheist, but I don't know how an atheist could become a Muslim. That's my question, to be honest.
I'm not sure if he's here. I don't want to talk for him, but I know he went to
Yeah.
multiple different things and different ideas. But yeah, I give you I give you that what I call the cure. That again, the verse was saying that after a prophet comes, there come the enemies. These enemies start to speak, and from that comes the things that you don't like, that you complained about all your life. So now in this world, you could come up to find yourself in a Hindu family or a Coptic Egyptian family or a Christian, whatever, or a Muslim Sunni or a Muslim Shia. Okay. And all this mess, because of the duality of life, in all this mess, what's being asked of a human for me is for you to find your truth. And when you come out of those groups, there's two ways: either either shakiran or kafura. Unfortunately,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I came to the conclusion that all books are human. So to prove the opposite to me, the person who brings a book that he claims is a special thing, it needs evidence. I mean, I cannot take it for granted that this is the book of God, because, as you know, there are hundreds of religions all over the earth. Yeah,
there's this Egyptian woman, Qur'ani, I think, thinker. The people make fun of her all the time, but they asked her one time. It shocked me, the answer. They asked her, so do you believe that God, and from the God of the Quran, it says something like that, and she's Arabic Muslim, right? She said, and who told you that you reach God from the Quran to start? He says, what do you mean? He says, God could be reached aside from the scriptures. God with a human, that's something else. Regardless of the scriptures, God is on you. It's something between you and God. At least that's my God. What the Quran claims in this case, if we're going to bring one book, the Quran says God is close. Inna Rabbi Qareeb Mujib. And then he answers too. So let's test that maybe.
okay, thank you for it. Okay, go ahead.
Hi,
Uh,
everybody.
should I call you Itan? Itan?
Yeah, you can call me Ethan. Just don't call me late for
Yeah.
dinner.
Okay, welcome, Itan. Go ahead.
I just stepped in the room. I just want to get the idea of the climate here. Are these like atheists talking to theists?
Yeah, like I myself, I am an atheist,
Oh
and the
my.
two friends, Sharif and Truth, are Muslims.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Wow.
that's
Yeah.
my question. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I just love to be in rooms where there's respectful discourse, and we have people from all the backgrounds. I see the atheists, theists, and whatnot. So if I ask questions, it's not from like a, like an evil way, or I just really sheer morbid curiosity. So I like the point that someone made here that there are thousands of religions in the world, right?
Exactly.
I don't remember correctly. There's something like 4.5 to 5,000 religions, and there are like Christianity 1,000 denominations or so. So my question is, how does one decide that they are in the right one? Or are there people that say, oh, well, they have their denomination and my denomination? Or is they're saying that there's only one right denomination? And how do they draw that conclusion without any self doubt? Maybe self clear. Any
Your voice
believer?
was cutting a little
Yeah,
bit.
I can answer this.
All right.
For
Yeah.
me, and again, I answer this from my own path. It's a different path, I'll be honest with you. But for me, is that I found moving from the Quran, which guided me to the Old Testament, which guided me to the New Testament. And then when I heard the words of Jesus, he said, you only enter the kingdom only when you return to be like children. Okay, and that's, I believe that's the key. And what happens is, being a child is not, for me, I'm saying for me, being a child is not a choice. Like imagine you're born in one of these religions, And then you're saying, oh my God, all of these people are wrong. We are the only ones that are right. Now, you cannot just say, from now on, I'm going to be just like a child. Because what is a child? A child listens. You need to tell a child, don't take candy from strangers, right? A child, in essence, he doesn't choose. He listens, right? So the problem with the religions is that when you step from when you're out of one, then the rest, maybe when you test them, the rest seem the same. They're all the same thing. Some people connected to each other, making sure that they believe together, so they're safe and happy, right? So being like a child, you will have to listen with being humble. I believe that's the key. For me, that's the key.
Well, interesting that you said the word child, because I know about different philosophy systems, and I think Zen talks about beginner's mind, and they say like a child's mind. So is this what you're talking about, getting to, like the
Yeah.
flexibility of the young people?
Yeah, for you to enter the kingdom, basically you get the guidance or whatever, what we call the Sirat al-Mustaqim. You get it here in this life. And here in this life, you have to see. But for you, it takes a specific mode of a human being, like a
Yeah.
childlike, not arrogant and not mocking.
All right, that's interesting. So you find that religion can bring people to flexibility?
For me, God allows you as proof, from the Quran perspective, for example, you see that the Quran never tells you how to pray, for example. Something very essential, very powerful, the most important. He doesn't say how. And you can see why. Because if he said how, you're going to be like a robot. Instead, he says do it sincerely. Something like that.
So that's interesting. You also see flexibility and freedom of
I can.
choice in religion.
It's very liberal.
Our friend Sharif is a special kind of Muslim. Yeah,
Yeah,
he has his
He's a
own
progressive
understanding.
Muslim.
Yes.
sounds pretty progressive. But he said he was a Christian, though, no? Or is he?
I
Is he a?
accept the words of Jesus. Islam here, in this case, from my eyes, from the Quran, says not to differentiate between prophets. That's what a Muslim is. He basically is like a
Ah,
Berean. You can say that a Christian Berean.
Sharif,
He listens.
how about going and study Baha'i faith? I think you
I
will
did.
like
I
it.
studied the Kitab al-Aqdas for
Yeah.
Baha'u'llah, but I didn't have the time to study al-Iqan. They say it's powerful. Honestly, I studied some in the Taoism. But at the end, I found out that, for example, The Secret of the Golden Flower, Carl Jung, is translated something from Lao Tzu in China. It just says the same thing. You need to dig in and find the oil, the mysticism of the oil in the Mishkan in the Quran, for example, or the Mishkan in the Old Testament, the
אני לא חושב
tabernacle,
שזה
that
לוקח
oil.
כרטיס כזה. רגע, מה זה מקס? אתה יודע, אגיד לך את האמת, בעיה עם כרטיסים, כי יש לך טלפון להשתמש?
Bro,
Okay.
אתה
your
יכול לבוא לשם
microphone is
לשלם?
open. Like
Can
I
you
don't
mute
hear.
him, please? We don't need to hear that weird language.
TJ,
Thank you. Carry on,
no,
Sharif.
I
wait.
apologize, my mic was off. Please
It's
don't call
okay,
my
my
language
friend.
weird.
Bro, it's okay.
I'm
Don't
just
worry.
fucking with you, Hassan. You're a good guy, bro. I'm just fucking with you. You're cool, bro.
CJ, do you have anything to say? Go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say hi to everyone with no exception.
You're welcome.
Thanks, bro. Honey, how are you, bro?
Good, man.
Yeah, do you have
Yeah.
do you have any ideas or points to make? Yeah, go ahead.
What we're talking about specifically.
Just how wrong the
Quran, what
Quran
wrong?
is and how
Asking
silly
wrong.
Islam is.
Yeah, do you see
Oh,
the title?
I mean, yeah. I don't think, I was wrong. Wrong about what exactly? I'm not religious, by the
The
way.
book in and of itself, it's just not believable.
Okay, how about the Bible?
Yeah,
Same
the Bible is
thing.
the same.
They're all the
Same.
same
Yeah.
shit, dude.
Okay, cool. Like, how about, what's Torah? How about Torah?
The
Honey?
Torah is just the
Same.
first part of the Bible, which is
Yeah.
just the Jewish stuff.
Another
Ouch,
So
mythology.
is it,
ouch, ouch.
They're all the
is
That,
same
it
that,
fake news?
Zoroastrian based. Yeah.
So it's
that's a,
all shit.
that is a Christian point of view. I have to, sorry. I mean, it's
Yeah, it's
nice
like
that
the
you have,
Torah is the first set of laws, the Mosaic laws, and like the story of the people of that land back then and all that
So
stuff.
it's all bullshit.
I
ooh,
mean, some
ouch.
of it's true. It's
Well,
like a
it's not. I
mytho-history,
mean, it depends
essentially.
on it's.
Yeah, it's like a
I believe that.
mytho-history.
Okay, cool. I agree with you, honey. I think most books are just, we're added, basically. Oh, okay, this one we don't like, we're gonna add it. And I
Yeah, that's
don't
why they
think
fight over it
God,
all the time and have like they have to have
exactly.
like apologists for it and study groups and all this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't think God have written these books or have even influence over these books. I think people wrote these books,
I
and
agree with you.
there is
Yep.
no I don't think God was actually asking them to do anything, to be honest.
That's
But
right.
yeah,
I don't think God
that's my
does
opinion.
anything at all. So that would
I do
indicate
believe in
that.
God. Is that your case?
I mean, at least not these gods. Yeah, at least not these gods. Like, think about the gods that we're being expected to like accept. It just makes no sense.
The idea of God is just safe. You just believe in God, because if we don't believe in nothing, just like why do
Well,
we
I believe in
exist?
millions of things. I just think that the God
Mhm.
stories don't make any sense. Like, I could make up a God right now, right, and believe in it, and you guys wouldn't have any problem with it if I said, "Oh yeah, I have a God. I'm just not a religion, but I believe in God. I believe in a higher power." You guys totally accept that. Everyone would just accept that. So I can do whatever I want. So it doesn't matter. That's the point. So like these gods that these guys want us to accept, total jokes.
You know,
Yeah, I
I'd like
agree with
people to
you.
respond to this sentence I heard, this word that I heard.
Akin, I'm sorry that I called your language weird. I was just
Nah,
joking
it's
with you.
okay. It's all
Just
good.
to
I was
let you
just,
know.
It's a beautiful language. Yeah. Go
I,
ahead,
you know, I
Ethan.
admit it sounds weird, but look, I was just, you know,
Nah, it's cool, bro. It sounds awesome. No worries, bro.
whatever. We're all here like to have some fun. So
Go.
now I'm trying to remember my thought. What we were talking about? We were talking about the words being written by God, I think. Oh, yeah. So did anyone hear this sentence? What if you can get people to believe absurdities, you can get them to commit atrocities? Anybody want to comment on that?
Yeah. I heard
Yeah,
that,
I
and
agree.
I,
Yeah.
I agree. I agree. All of that. Yeah.
Oh,
Welcome,
okay.
Dawood. Welcome in the room.
Hey, how's it going, everyone?
How are you?
I just hope, I will be afforded the same safe space and freedom that I try to
Of course.
cultivate and provide in my rooms.
Well, I made you a
Well, of
moderator,
course, that
so
would. Of course,
yeah, you're welcome. Go
you're
ahead.
safe here,
Dawood, can
dude.
I ask you a question?
Yeah, you're safe here.
Uh, it's a question and a statement. My guess is Dawood is from South Asia. I think South Asian have become more Muslim than the Arab lately. It's because of their financial problems. So I think my opinion is poor people tends to be more religious. So Pakistan or India are more poor, so they tends to be more Muslim, and the Nigerian and South American are also more poor than the European, so that tends to be more Christian. Poor people tends to be more religious than rich people. Rich people tends to be less religious. So I would guess that Daoud is actually based on his profile. I'm guessing that you come from a country that struggled financially, but you can say no, I'm American. I'm talking about your origin. So yeah, what's your where are you from originally, Daoud? If you don't mind me asking, I'm from Israel, just in case.
Well, I
Well,
prefer.
I think that's a race.
Dawood, please don't answer personal questions. I
That
mean,
seems like an
Yeah, if you
astute
don't,
I
observation, if
don't
it's
encourage
true.
that. Yeah, I don't encourage
yeah,
that.
you can answer. You don't have to answer if you actually say, fuck it, bro. I'm
Yeah,
from
some
that country.
stereotypes are real. I mean, obviously.
Yeah. So what country you come from, Daoud?
Well, I
If you
mean,
don't mind asking.
I think it's a bit of a racist
Well, that's
question and
It's
fine.
not
comment,
racist,
but
That's
dude.
fine. That's your
It's
opinion.
not
I don't
racist.
mind,
Why don't you
but I
just
don't mind
address the actual
answering the
question?
question. But I don't mind
That's
answering the
cool that your
question, but it's
opinion is
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
That's
yeah. Let him answer. It's
like,
okay. I'm racist, dude.
Yeah, we are all we
okay.
are
We get
all
it. We get it, Dawood.
the
You think that's
sons of
racist? Okay,
this
now what?
earth. Yeah,
Yeah.
we,
What country you from, Daoud?
I'm from America.
Nah, bro. I told you from like originally. We're not gonna talk shit about that country.
bro.
We're adult.
We are all Africans. Okay, we all came from Africa. That's
Bro,
the
no,
point.
no, I didn't come from Africa. I think Africa is a shithole
No,
country. Shithole
came
continent.
I came from Africa. You came from Africa. Everyone.
I did not. Don't speak in behalf of me, bro. I'm not asking.
Yeah. That's what
Okay.
science says. That's what science says. So if you think that you are an angel or a higher kind of being, okay, I mean that's your choice. Go ahead, Dawood, please. You can speak.
Sorry, repeat the question again.
Yeah, what do you think about me saying Quran was wrong?
Well, hey, I'll expand upon that just to even narrow it down because you might think it's too broad of a topic. You could just say, is Honey Badger wrong about Muslims having no good evidence for Jibril actually speaking with Allah before he told Muhammad anything?
Sorry, give me a second.
Yeah, and just so you know,
Daoud.
Dawood asks for like this grace and like this diplomacy on my behalf, But when I'm in his rooms, he'll just censor me or kick me or block me or mute me or do whatever he wants. Or he'll allow his mods to mod abuse me because he doesn't like to have real discussions.
Yeah, I think the Muslim brothers tends to be more extremist. Like they don't like the other side of the story. They don't like people talking about Islam, which is not cool. It's not.
Wait, I have a
Imagine
wait. I
being.
have
Yeah,
a
they act like they're
I have
all
What's
a
up,
open
Dawud?
to all this debate and
What's up,
stuff,
Dawud?
and they want like
wait. I
these
have a
honest conversations, but then they're all thin-skinned and like a gang. They like mob
wait.
you and gang
I have a
up on you.
question.
They get all
Hold on.
butthurt and defensive and stuff.
What's
Wait, I
up,
have a
Dawud?
question. I have a quick question, but not for CJ because he's already established that he's a racist. But my question for you, honey, is
Well,
if
I
Sushu
haven't seen
did
that, but that's your opinion.
he has established that himself. He said it's fine if he's a
How is
racist and asking racist questions.
how am I be how am I
Well,
being
it's too late.
racist?
Wait, it's too late, CJ. But you didn't ask that before. I don't mind explaining it, but you already said like it's fine
Dawood,
if you're a
But
racist. So my question is this:
you're
Hold on, wait,
ashamed of your
Dawood,
hold on.
origin.
If someone accused me of being a Nazi, I wouldn't say like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I'm a Nazi, whatever. I would actually say why. I would ask questions and try to
Dawood,
debunk that myth.
like
But you seem
before,
to be fine with the fact that you're a racist, so it's fine.
no,
Yeah, but it
Maybe
was
you don't take
because you
the
were all
claims of
butthurt about
racism
what he
seriously.
said. So
Dawood,
like
Wait,
that's your
hold on.
problem, dude.
Wait, hold on. My question was for Honey. So, but my question is, if if Sushu were to do something, Sushu is mod, your mod. If Sushu were to do something, is it fair for me to hold you culpable for what Sushu does?
Yeah, I don't know what your question is. What's your question?
My question is, is it fair to hold someone liable, accountable for something that another mod does? So, like when other mods
It depends on
behave
the
a certain way.
situation. Yeah.
Okay, so in what situation would it be fair
Yeah, I
to
don't need to go down
place?
these rabbit trails. We can just move
I
on.
will
It's
be honest,
okay, Dawood. I don't want to have a meta conversation with you.
honey, I will be
If you
honest,
wanna, if you wanna
Dawood.
pretend that like you have some case that you can establish, go ahead.
I'm sorry to cut in, but I just wanted eventually to get back to the title because I do have some questions.
Yeah, please. Let's do that. Let's move on, please.
All right. Was it my turn to speak, or did you guys want to know?
Yeah, you can speak, bro. No
All
I
right.
worries.
mean,
Okay. Quran was
Dawood's
wrong.
here, and you know how it is when he speaks. It's like
All
forever.
right.
You're just, oh my
Quran,
god, is this
Yeah.
Justin, the Christian guy? Like, Jesus. What
all
is
right.
this? Is this Mahdi? You know what I mean?
All right. Quran was wrong. Now, you know, I'm like for peace. Okay, I'm like a citizen of the world. I don't believe in God, and I don't believe in nationalities and all that. It's a reality that we deal with. So I'm not coming from. If I question, it's not like an investigative, interrogative kind of a thing. It's just really got a curiosity to know. But being that I would love to see more positive interactions between Muslim believers and Jewish believers, I just can I share some of the ideas of how when Jews hear certain ideas, how they understand them, and I'll make it more specific. For example, when Jews hear that Moses and Jesus and Abraham were Muslims, can someone address that?
Yeah, I will. Moses and Abraham. I think Moses for sure is not even considered to be a real historical figure, so we don't need to really pretend that he has anything to do with anything. Abraham, I'm not quite sure. I know Jesus does have some historical backup to defend that it was a man that walked the earth at one point, but Moses does not really, based on the consensus universally. So, what do you say about that?
Oh,
Okay,
you
but
know,
he's
again,
asking a believer, though.
Right.
what?
Well, but you believe in things that are true, right?
Right, right. But
Okay, so
we can get
is it true that Moses is not considered to be a actual historical figure according to the census or the
Oh no, but I
consensus?
wasn't going there. I'm sorry.
he's
Okay,
asking
I
how
just
come
wanted to
they're
make sure that
called
that was
Muslims,
true.
but he's asking believers. But
Yeah,
okay, I can
I just wanted to
answer.
make sure that was true because you
But can I
asked
add?
for really
But can
quick.
I
I
answer
just
that?
hold on. I just wanted to make sure that was true just before we proceed, so we know what you
What's the
guys are
question
All
again?
right.
what you guys are believing in.